And hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Waterdhavian Job. I'm your DM Brad, joined today by James, Elise, and Morton for a rousing, action-packed session, probably. Maybe. No promises. This is week 17, I believe. And before we get started, going into things, I guess just a quick announcement that for the time being, Mike will not be joining us, at least for the foreseeable future. Might be back later on, we'll see. But for now, he will be. I will be piloting Olivar for the time being. And yeah, with that, before we begin, we will do the customary recap of what happened last time. Delivered by the default when the person that was supposed to do it has ducked out on it. That being Zach. So James, that's you.
He's
If
just
you
so good at
Yeah.
it.
if you would please tell us what happened last time on the Waterdhavian Job.
Yep. So the last time we continued on our investigations to find out what the deal is with these books that are killing people. We managed to take one of the books back with us, one that contained the symbol of Hadar. Um, After we had asked around Valor and such about what was happening, we made our way back to Troll Skull Manor and rested up for the evening. However, that night, something strange happened. The chest that the book was locked into began to glow, and it appeared that something was happening inside it. Upon opening the book, there appeared to be some sort of wisp, some ball of ectoplasmic energy or whatever that attacked us. Valerie, Sir Reginald, and Arya, I think she was there as well,
I was
and
not there.
Sheldrake. Okay, Reginald, Valerie, and Sheldrake managed to kill it. However, it appeared to disappear completely, and leaving behind no trace of its existence, no book either. It was at that point that Valerie concluded that this creature, whatever it was, appeared to be the book, which would probably explain the transmutation magic that they uncovered when they identified it. So, the where whoever are selling these books are apparently disguising these creatures as them in order to attack and kill the people who are unfortunate enough to be the ones to come in possession of them. So, the next day, armed with this knowledge, they decided to make their way and try and find the book merchant at the market square. They found the stall apparently being run by some traveling merchants who apparently claimed they got these books down from Baldur's Gate. Um, During some questioning, Arya managed to determine that there was something off about the people, I believe, when she was describing the book and what it was doing. Apparently, the old lady manning the stall had some sort of glint of recognition in her expression. So they decided to wait and see where the cart might be going that evening to see if they could follow where it was going to go, find out where their hideout is, and then secure the books to take them as evidence to the Order. Maybe even needing to deal with them in a bloody way, who knows? But either way, it appears that that is the current plan to see where they're going to go.
Isn't
Uh,
isn't that how heroes deal with it? Kill them. That's how
Well,
heroes deal with everything.
well, yes, but like it's also a very uncivilized way of dealing with things. We should leave it to the guard and the law and order and the.
Nah.
Oh, yes. So, I think we will pick things up a little bit later in the day. Um, Everybody has you've returned from your early morning investigations, having decided to return at night when the stalls are closing up, to see if you can follow the book traders. So we'll say it's probably like late in the evening, and you have all gathered at the Troll Skull Manor. Basic is there with you, and you basically like fill him in on the plan, I assume. Um,
Yep.
and yeah, so I think it's about time, basically, for you to head out. And
All right.
I guess Sir Reginald, he's feeling a little bit ill. He stopped by this very suspect food stall while you were perusing the markets, and kind of through the back alleys of it. And he's
Ugh.
dealing with some stomach problems at the moment. So he unfortunately cannot join you. However, Olivar will be joining you.
Perfect.
That's what they get for not trusting the chef in the manor.
Wait,
You know?
did you say all of ours joining us?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Well then, fair enough. All right then. Like Valerie will say, it's like, okay, let's see where this car is going and who these people are, and try and secure some evidence as to their crimes. Best try not to get in any altercations, though. I don't want to answer any more questions to the guards that are unneeded. But if there's no other way, I suppose we'll have to, won't we?
Just not. Yo.
Just don't go
It's like,
looking for a fight, is all I'm asking.
I'm the stealthy one out of us. Don't look at me.
Alright, let's go.
All right. So late at night, you begin to make your way to the market stalls. A relatively straightforward journey, which takes about like half an hour or so, give or take, to make your way there and then locate the stall. Now, I assume like basically at this point in time, there's not a lot of traffic in the markets. A few people here and there trying to get some like last minute purchases in for the day before all the stalls close up. But you see like a large number of the merchants appear to be just sort of packing up their wares and sort of closing shop for the day. So you're relatively like, at least at the moment, relatively kind of conspicuous by your presence. So you think it best not to get too close to your target. You get like within visual range, right, where you can see the stall.
Yep.
Um, and I think as you're observing things, why don't you all give me a perception check?
I'm not good at these. Hey!
Nice.
I can see.
Hey!
All right. So, as you are watching things, you both Arya and Vasek, you are able to ascertain the following things. These people, these sort of Amian merchants that you see, appear to be sort of like emptying out these rather simple bookcases and taking them behind their sort of little like tent stall, essentially, to like a wagon in back. They have like a wagon that they're like loading up with all of their goods. You notice that there are far more of them present now than there were at any point during the day. During the times that you visited, there were about 2 people, and sometimes like the quote unquote manager was around. You see that the woman who presented herself as like the stall's manager is there, as well as 6 other figures. I believe 4 of whom you would recognize from having met them, but there are 2 more that you did not see during your sort of brief visits to the stall. So there are 7 in total that are sort of like loading up these books into the cart. They're making rather quick work of it. It's not exactly a difficult sort of merchandise to pack up in transit, right? They're just packing them into crates, it looks like, and kind of setting off. This process, it takes a little bit. They're like folding down like the front of the tent to like block off the stall itself, and eventually, after waiting 20 minutes to half an hour or so. You see they've tie down the tent flaps essentially over the stall, closing it up completely, before kind of like taking their little sign with them, and basically they all like pile in to this kind of like covered wagon almost, that is drawn by what appear to be like a couple of draft horses, essentially, that they have brought in. And yeah, so you see like they begin to make their way kind of out out of the market. Like they begin to leave, kind of around along the like cart paths essentially. Um,
All right, let's follow them. I suppose I'll say like, Basic, you're pretty good at staying hidden. If you want to go a bit ahead of us, maybe that could maybe you might be able to see more.
Yep, yeah, can do. I'll kind of like get a little bit of a head start and stay loaded.
Sure, yeah. So you take off a little bit ahead of the others to begin tailing this wagon. Can you make a stealth check for me?
That I think I can do.
Yes.
All right. So you slink off. You see the wagon exits from the market onto Trader's Way and begins sort of like mingling in with the traffic of the drays and other transportation of the city. The streets is kind of like closing time, so the streets are pretty like busy. Traffic is slow going. The sidewalks are pretty cramped, but so you are able to easily blend into the crowd. And I assume the other two are kind of following at a distance, from behind. So far enough back that you don't have to worry about really being spotted, necessarily. Um, and yeah, so you watch basically. I guess basic as things are getting into like the busier parts of the street. Um, can you give me like a perception check basically, after like a little while?
Yep. Perception. There we go.
All
Oh,
right,
the
cool.
19s.
So you are pretty able, given your sort of lithe nature and cat-like speed. You're able to keep up with the carts, even though, because of they are increased traffic. They are slower than perhaps you would normally expect. So,
Meanwhile,
yeah, breathing quite heavily in the back. So you are able to keep an eye on the carts as they begin to leave the city. They turn onto the high road and begin to proceed south. From there, basically following the high road all the way down to the Weymouth in the southern gate of the city, where there's like a little bit of a jam as people are kind of like watched, right, and they ask questions, coming and going late at night. There's not really, you don't get stopped going out too much, but just the traffic coming in for the night is slowing things down to some degree. So you follow them. It takes like a while, right? Traffic's pretty heavy, bustling, like end of the day, basically. So it's probably like almost an hour by the time you like are leaving the city. And at this point, there is a lot less room to kind of stay hidden, and you kind of have to drop back a bit to where the others are. Otherwise, you would be a little bit too conspicuous on the main roads, exiting from the city itself. But you make your way out, following the high road, basically all the way out until it comes to the intersection, basically, of
holy shit.
South Cliff Way. And there, it's quite a distance, right? You've been walking all this time. You're now exiting basically like the city proper and kind of entering into the suburbs more or less, although not actually suburban, really. But they go up this kind of like main road, and eventually, after a while, you come across basically like this small hamlet at the outskirts of town. A little bit sort of like on the lower end as far as like wealth
Undercliff
goes.
Village.
it's an out of the way place. Not exactly like super sleazy, but not exactly the most decent of accommodations. And you see, eventually, they pull down the roads and basically like park the cart next to what appears to be like a small, like run-down looking building of some sort. It's this very simple square, like one-story building, kind of on the outskirts of the town. It looks pretty run down, not exactly well maintained by any respect. And you see they begin to like pile out of the wagon and begin sort of the reverse process of bringing all the goods inside. And you notice the seven of them doing that. Watching from a distance. At this point, it's getting pretty dark, pretty late into the night. But eventually, they finish that process, and assuming you don't interrupt at any point in time, basically like close the door behind them. And the cart is now emptied, but you see there is still sort of like flickering lights on in the domicile.
Interesting. So the cart's parked up to like this house then.
Yeah, essentially like on the side of the house.
So it's next to the house and you open. Okay. So I suppose let's see, man. It's like, well, I didn't really expect them to go so far as they did. Hmm. Did you say they emptied out the cart?
Yeah.
They did.
Right. And they took all the shit inside the house from the looks of things.
Yes.
All right. I think Valerie would turn to Bassic. It's like, have you got a crowbar?
Yep. Crowbar. Do I have a crowbar? That's the question. I do not.
All right. Not necessary, I suppose. Not necessary. Oh yeah, I suppose we'd have a Bassic snack as well, since we took a lot of time. Essentially a short rest, right?
Yeah, it's been like a while, so you can all have
All right, perfect.
two temporary
Hold-
hit points.
Nice little Bassic snack. Temporary hit points too. All right. Alrighty. It's dark. It's dark. Fuck. I can't see things in the dark. Do either of you have dark vision, or do you both have dark vision?
I do. I think.
Basic's the only one that does.
Yeah.
Sad.
No, alright. I can't remember. You a half elf? No. Human. I don't know.
At least you have dark vision.
Half elf, yeah, dark vision.
Yes, I'm half elf.
Yeah.
All right. So you
yeah,
two have
Arya,
dark vision. I
Arya
don't.
and Bassic can see. Valerie and Oliver are having a hard time. Oliver's just like squinting his eyes, like I can't see anything.
Yep. All right. So the lights are still on.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose like Valerie would say to Bassic, and it's like, oh, the lights are still on. Maybe if you could. It says, maybe take a peek and see whether there are still people up, or whether they're just leaving them on to dissuade any would-be break-ins.
I mean, I can go check. I can
Try not to get spotted.
squint over at him as I sneak up.
Okay. As you get like a little bit closer, I guess you can see a little bit better now as you get like within your dark vision range of the building.
Are you not on full HP, Morton?
He should be. Yeah, you should be on full HP. You should have everything at this point. It's been a couple of days since you were last here. So, as you get a little bit closer to the house or whatever it is,
we're still level 2, right?
Yeah, you're still level 2.
Yeah.
You basically begin to notice like the flickering light that you kind of saw is coming out from like behind like scenes essentially where like the door is, but there aren't actually any like windows or necessarily as far as you can see, just like flat walls essentially. So there,
Oh,
from what you can tell, like giving a quick look around, it seems as though there's basically like only the one entrance.
okay. Well, I'll make my way back then. And I go like, there's no windows. There's only a door. That's about it.
So can we just see the light coming from underneath the door?
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Right, okay. Let's just say, well, that's a shame. Makes things a bit more difficult as well.
You want to kick in that
Um,
door and murder them?
well, again, I'd rather not do anything like that if we don't have to. Um, okay, well, I suppose picking a lock's always the option, although every time since I don't have thieves' tools, and I don't have any tool for the job, makes it a bit more difficult. All
And I'm
right.
not like, I got nothing either. So,
Mhm. Well, I suppose we can check the cart since it's outside. Maybe we'll find a clue in there. Might as well do that first.
Okay.
So I guess we'll go up to check the cart first.
Sure. So you like head over to this like covered wagon, and you can see like it's been like cleared out of supplies, but that doesn't mean that there's nothing to find necessarily. I guess if you want to look it over, you could spend maybe about like 10, 15 minutes and make a an investigation check. If you want to make separate ones, or if you want just like somebody to help somebody else and just do one. Either way.
Who wants to help me? 'Cause I have a +8.
I'll help you. I don't have
Wonderful.
an investigation, though, but I guess she did. Maybe she does. I don't have
I
any
do.
investigation.
I have it. I'll help you.
Sweet, 23.
Okay. So as you are combing over the wagon, looking for any sort of hints or clues, there's not a whole lot to find, but you do find something a little bit odd, kind of in the back area where like the crates and stuff were stored. Caught between some of like these splintered wooden like boards of what would be like a seat, basically. You notice there are like tufts of like fur of some sort. This sort of like brownish tan kind of like fur caught between the seat of boards.
Some brown fur that stands out. Okay, well I guess I'll grab it.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty like coarse. It's not like a downy fur or anything like that. It's very like coarse and rough.
Anyway, to determine,
It looks
you know,
pretty like mangy in a way.
oh my God. Remember remember like the Order of the Gauntlet was talking about werewolves maybe being in the city? Like oh no. Please don't tell me. Like I think like Valerie would probably whisper. What,
Did
sorry?
you say that? Did you say that out loud?
Like I think she'd like I say, I think she'd probably whisper and she's like, remember the Order of the Gauntlet mentioned something about werewolves in the city? You don't think that I'm just being a bit paranoid, right? I say as I hold up the fur.
Is there any way I would know anything about werewolves?
I mean, I think like werewolves are a common enough creature that everybody knows like the like basic myths about them, right? Like you can only kill them with silver, and they transform on nights of the full moon, and don't let them bite you or you'll be cursed. I think everybody pretty much knows like the basics.
But no way to know what their fur is like.
Um, I think like it kind of runs the gamut, right? Just as there's a lot of different like color furred wolves, like different wolves of different areas. Werewolves will typically mimic the appearances of like the native wolves of an area. So it can vary, right? Like if it's far north, they'll tend to be whiter in color, but far to the south, more like browns and blacks and stuff.
So when we saw these people, I think they were dressed quite extravagantly. Were they wearing anything that had like this fur on it that we saw?
Not as far as like you saw. They weren't really wearing anything like too crazy extravagant or anything like that. They seemed to be dressed in like normal merchants attire, very like simple kind of like hempen clothing.
Okay. Well then.
kind
I'm
of
so scared.
kind of in like the Omnian style, right, with the shawls and whatnot.
Okay, right.
How's the
So I
moon
think
look tonight?
what's the moon like tonight, Brad?
Let me see here.
Just
Another-
picture Valor. I just picture Valor just looking down and just like slowly looking up at the moon, going like, "Oh fuck."
It is what is that? It's quarter moon, I think. Is that half?
Okay, we're fine.
Yeah, you're it's like a half moon, like, or just before half moon.
We're fine. Hopefully. All right. So there's only one way in, the front door. What's the roof like? I have a cat.
It is a relatively sort of
I have a cat.
it is a relatively like flat sloped roof. Very rough looking, kind of old shingling. Or like
Shingles.
old clay shingles, essentially.
Damn.
Looks
Why couldn't it be
ancient.
thatched? All right. So I think Valerie would say it's like, well, I guess there's only one way in. Let me try and I can try and see if we can pick the lock first, maybe. Don't suppose either of you have thief tools.
Nope.
No, they can do, baby doll.
All right. So what was it, Brad? Tinker's tools with disadvantage.
Yeah, it would be like a dexterity check, basically, with proficiency but disadvantage.
All right. Can I benefit from the help action with this at all?
I would say probably not. This isn't really an activity somebody can help you with.
All right. I rolled a 12.
Okay. So you go about the process of sort of picking this lock. And it takes a while, but you eventually kind of like hear this this like clicking noise basically in the lock. It seems like the lock on this particular door is not very secure. It's very 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 simple lock.
I actually managed it. Oh my god. All right. The door's unlocked. Everyone be ready. Guess I'll take out my dagger just for posterity's sake. You know how it is.
Sure.
All right. Who wants to open the door? I stand back.
I look at what's his face again?
Actually, I'll put the dagger away, thinking about it.
Mm,
Oliver?
Oliver is a bard, isn't he? Fuck, you know.
Yes.
Well, here goes nothing. I'm just quietly gonna roll stealth or something to open the door.
Yeah, you can make a stealth check. Let me here, let me.
Or do you want the sleight of hand instead?
All right, you're already on this map, right?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you can arrange yourselves at the door.
Right, here we are.
Okay,
I suppose I'll
standing
stand, like, here.
which way does it open? Does it open this way or inwards?
It seems to open inwards.
Okay. Okay. Does it open inwards? Yeah. Okay. Because I was thinking if I stand on the side, just put my hand on it, or just like slowly open it up.
I mean, yeah, you can try to do it stealthily if you want. You just have to roll a
Yeah.
roll a stealth check.
Everybody's good. Stealth or sleight of hand? Stealth.
Stealth.
Okay.
Okay.
20.
So you, like, as carefully as you can, begin to open the door. However, all of your sort of own best preparations and calculations, essentially, on how to open this door as stealthily as possible, are a little bit for naught because of the maintenance of the hinges. They're quite rusty and like they do like creak quite heavily as you open it. But it seems to open inwards. And as you take a look inside, you heave a heavy sigh of relief as it seems there are no creatures, at least immediately visible on the other side, that could have heard that, essentially. And looking inside before you go running in, you see basically that there are 7 mismatched chairs scattered around what appears to be like a homely-looking common room. There's a couple of mugs and plates sitting on a small circular table in the center of the space, and decorating the wooden floor near a door that kind of like is on the opposite side. There is a rather faded-looking decorative rug. And you see there are, taking a quick look inside, you see there are 2 doors, one immediately to the north and then one kind of off to the right-hand side. There is flickering light coming from underneath the door to the right.
Watch out for creaking floorboards.
Okay, so I look at Valor like, which way do you want to go?
He says, well, if you can avoid making some noise as you go in, maybe try the closest door.
Take a step inside, and I go like, well, we're fucked either way now. Breaking and entering.
It's reached that point.
I'm just mumbling to myself, yeah, let's not do anything criminal. Let's do the guard do all of this, yes. I'll just violently, like, making my way over.
All right, are you guys like hanging back, or are you going to like kind of file in after him?
Well, I'd maybe stand here, but I'm not going to go in. I don't want to risk, like, making any creaking floorboard noises.
Squeeze in.
Okay, never mind, then.
Bassick, as you gingerly make your way across the floor to the other door, sort of like stepping on this kind of faded-looking rug. What is your... You've got 13, 14, 12, 15. So, Arya, you notice this, but nobody else is able to notice in time. Basically, Bassick, as you are entering into the room, kind of like traipsing over this rug, suddenly you feel sort of like a tugging underneath your feet, as the rug basically entirely folds upwards almost and begins to kind of like try to wrap around you.
Oh my god! Well, at least it's not I don't think it's a mimic, Morton.
I need everybody to roll initiative. Everybody but Arya is surprised by the rug. Arya, you are able to react due to your passive perception.
Magic carpets are my favorite enemy.
Not mimics, though.
Shut up, James.
All right, so it's Valerie, Bassick, Arya, Olivar. So Valerie and Olivar are both surprised. The rug immediately goes basically to wrap around you, Bassick, as you're like traveling across the room, walking basically right over it. It is going to make an attack against you. Whoops, I had it hidden, so I will re-roll that. Never whisper, please.
Get the crit instead. Sounds about right.
No, it will. You manage to like duck out of the way, basically, like super like preternatural, like kind of feline instincts kick in as you like feel something moving behind you, and you manage to duck out of the way before this thing can like wrap around you. Arya, you are able to act this round, as you are not surprised.
Would I, as a somewhat learned wizard, have any idea whether or not psychic damage would affect anything?
Make an Arcana check. Yeah, so you would know, this is likely some sort of like animated object of a sort, a construct, and most of the time constructs do not have like the mental capabilities to be affected by psychic damage.
Okay. Magic missile.
All right. Magic missile.
Do you mean to roll for each separate dart or just take that damage?
I usually like to roll for each separate one, even though I know that's not technically the. 4, 4, and 2, so a total of 10 points of force damage. Like tears some holes into this rug. Begins like sort of it scatters around, like knocking over some of the chairs, making quite a racket basically. Bassick is stunned. Olivar, he is the first to go. Let me see here. What does he have? He has all sorts of spells.
Vicious mockery.
Vicious mockery. He does
A
have.
psychic.
He does have vicious mockery. It is psychic damage. It won't really do much of anything. Though he doesn't know that, so
No, not vicious mockery.
I mean, actually, he has a sword, so
Yeah, I think he
Uh,
likes.
he's more of like a fighty bard. So he is actually going to see this like come move up like near Basic. Now with the racket being made, not really caring too much about being completely silent, he is going to try to like stab this carpet. But unfortunately, he is not able to get a good hit in on this thing. It's like twisting around and kind of moving in strange ways. Valerie, it is your turn.
Yep. Ray of Frost. Oh my god. The
Ooh,
dream is alive.
the dream.
The dream is alive.
The dream is alive.
I dreamed a dream.
I crit it,
Hey.
Brad. I crit it.
All right, you certainly do.
Who's Amber doing Jackalware?
I don't know
Why
what
has he
you're
got
talking
where in his name, Brad? Jackal.
Jackalware, yeah, there's
I
nothing
don't know what you're
ominous
talking
about that at all.
So that's 15 points of cold damage. Wow. So you blast like a section of this rug and it basically like freezes over, and it's like you rendering like the rug itself like stiff and unable to like bend and twist in the way it necessarily would. But then it is the rug's turn. It is still mobile enough to try to wrap around Basic once more, just sort of following its programming, quote unquote. So it'll make another attack against you. 15, I think, is your armor class, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So, deals you 14 points of bludgeoning damage. Rolled really well on that one. And you are immediately grappled, restrained, and blinded, basically, as this rug like begins smothering you. Arya, you see this basically. Let me just rearrange this. And it is your turn.
I'd like to run in and. How far can I make? Can I get within 5 feet of him?
5 feet of Basic?
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Not really. Not with Olivar there. You can't really get. You can't enter the creature space. Well, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
think
Yeah,
you
yeah, you
can,
can
just
barely. Yeah, if you cut across
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
I'm gonna help him.
Okay, you want to try to like move in there and help him like break free.
Yeah. So
Alright.
use the help back.
Sounds good. Basic, you are having a difficulty breathing, basically, like being smothered by this massive ancient Persian rug. Yeah, what do you do? You're restrained, you're blinded, you're sort of having difficulty breathing. You can attempt to escape, or you can just try to kill it, whichever you feel is better.
You have the help action either way.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hell, I'm blinded. I can't see shit.
Yeah, you currently basically are completely.
Actually, I'm gonna take Dex and see if we can manage to get my ass out of there.
Okay, it'll be an acrobatics check basically then, or a dexterity check if you're not proficient.
Acrobatics? Okay. Oh, 11.
An
The
11
DC 13.
is insufficient. The DC is 13, so you're unable to escape from this.
So, I used my inspiration.
you
We
already
already
have
have advantage, yeah.
Alright, fuck, yeah, right. That's what
So
it is.
That's real unfortunate. Holy shit.
yeah,
1 in a 4.
As a result,
Fine.
you take another 13 points of bludgeoning damage as it constricts around you at the start of your turn, actually. But we'll just say that it was after the attempted escape.
You're suffocating as well. What's that status effect?
Basically, like he can survive a number of rounds, and if he does not get to be able to breathe by that time, he dies.
Oh, well, I don't imagine you're going to be in there for so many minutes.
Oh, it's not minutes. Like suffocation
It's
is
like
rounds.
Oh, never mind, then.
It's a holding breath is minutes. But when you're like suddenly like cut off from breathing, you don't have time to hold your breath. You begin like suffocating, and that's a number of rounds. So Basic, I think that knocks you out.
yeah, well,
All right.
Carpet.
You all hear scuffling basically from this other doorway over here, and what sounds sort of like kind of this like snarling noise essentially as the door opens, and you see stepping out this sort of tall, gangly looking humanoid with kind of like fur covering their whole bodies, and this very like kind of dog like looking face, like this very slender dog like looking face. And anybody who has seen like a jackal before, which I probably like the more learned amongst you maybe would have seen them in books, but they're not like a native creature from around here. But anyone who had seen a jackal before would recognize the similarities here, as this creature like enters like snarling, and basically just like shouting like, "Who goes there?" And like seeing this scuffle going on. You see they have a scimitar in hand. Olivar sort of like looks around. He's just like, this all seems to be going south rather quickly. He is going to cast Healing Word on Basic. Restoring 8 hit points to you.
oh,
And then Valerie, you are up.
Yes. Man, this fucking carpet, I hate it.
It is pretty like heavily damaged. It doesn't like.
Hiya, on the carpet.
That is a hit on the carpet. 6 points of cold damage is not quite enough to like fully destroy it, but it's like frozen like pretty solid now. There's not much of it that's still like mobile, but it is still up.
Right.
The rug is going to continue to just wrap around Basic. It doesn't make any. I don't think it can. Yeah, it can't make any like other attacks. It's just doing the subdual damage basically. So Arya, it's your turn.
I will cast Hideous Laughter on the jackal,
Okay.
and I'll use Sport Sense to give it a 9.
All right. A 9 is a Wisdom save. They have a plus 0, so that is you basically like this jackal like emerges like snarls like shouting "Who goes there?" and just begins sort of like like laughing in that like creepy jackal way as they like fall to the floor, just like laughing hysterically at the situation.
laughing like a hyena.
Yeah, almost similar.
Hey.
Yeah. See, we'll just use the I don't know this. He's now just like laughing basically in a panic.
And that's it.
All right. I think you hear some like other voices from behind them. You know, like,
As I'm coming to again, I'm just like pull out like both swords and just like a around me in there.
okay. Right. I forgot something, but it doesn't really matter. All right. So you're swinging with disadvantage. You hit with the second one, but miss with the first. 5 points of piercing damage is enough to tear your way free of the carpet and like destroy
Oh, thank God.
I'm just standing there.
Yeah, taking deep breaths. Let me just I'll just drag this out of here so it's not in the way. Yeah, and so you see this jackal basically over here just like falling to the floor, just like beating its fist on the ground like this is the funniest thing it's ever seen. Its turn. It gets a save at the end of its turn, right?
At the end of each of its turns, and each time it takes.
Okay, yeah. So it'll make a save at the end of its turn. It fails, but you hear more noises from the other room as The laughing jackalware in the entrance has alerted the other resident, and so they will be added in. All right, and I really wish Olivar wasn't first. Olivar, he is going to, I guess, look over to you, Valerie, and he says, "So what are we doing?" He's got his like sword drawn, like gesturing to the creature over there, like what's the play here?
Well,
As
if he's got a sword drawn, I guess we'll have to deal with him.
he is going to, I guess, give a bardic inspiration to you, Valerie.
To me.
Yes,
Interesting.
you have a bardic inspiration, and then it is your turn.
I step in. Oh, that's interesting. 5, 10. I see someone back there. 15. I definitely see someone back there.
Yeah. So this
Alright.
one, ignore the token. They currently look like one of the staff. Like they're human in appearance.
Doesn't he have a sword drawn or something?
No, they don't. The front one did, but then he kind of like fell to the ground laughing when Arya cast a spell on them. The one in the back seems to be like they have like a kitchen knife. Like this looks like it's a kitchen, and they have like a kitchen knife on them, but they look human at the moment.
Ah, right. I see. I get what you mean. Alright, let's see here. How does the spell work again? Right. So, he's prone, so I guess I have disadvantage attacking him with a Ray of Frost, don't I?
Yes, you would have disadvantage because he has been knocked prone by the spell.
Don't you have shocking
Alright.
grasp?
No, I don't.
Oh, man.
So, I guess I'll take, like, I suppose I'll ready a Ray of Frost, action.
Sure.
And call over to this one. Is this someone that we recognize from the stall?
Let me see. Yeah, I think you would like recognize this as one of the women that had been manning it at one point in time.
I suppose I'll shout over to her and it's like, where folk I see then? And it's like, lay down your weapons. And let's not make this get any more ugly. That's my turn.
Her turn. She sort of like lifts this like big like meat cleaver out of the desk, like turning towards you. Says, "You would barge into our home and demand us surrender? This is nonsense." And you see like her form begins to like shift, basically as like fur begins to grow. And
Yep, sounds like a ray of frost in their face.
sure.
I will
Alright.
not use my bardic.
Okay. That is a hit, so 5, so that reduces the speed down to that 5, 10, 15. She's still able to get up to you. They seem pretty quick, honestly, for humanoid creatures. And
Jackals.
yes, so, actually, can you make you see like this creature like locks eyes with you, Valerie. Can you make a wisdom saving throw as your vision kind of begins to like blur almost?
What the fuck? Can I use my bardic on saving throws?
Yes.
So that's a d6, right?
Mm-hmm.
15.
All right. So for a moment, you feel as though you are about to succumb to whatever effects this is. Like you begin to feel like dizzy and fatigued. Almost your eyelids grow heavy. But then you kind of like hear Olivar like shouting from behind you, and it kind of like snaps you awake, and you maintain lucidity.
Nice.
That is its turn. Arya.
I will cast like this square.
It didn't post the spell. It just says dexterity save. Is that grease? I assume, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the components. I was like, that sounds like grease. 10-foot square, so like right here.
Where will get both of them. Yep.
All right. So one of them is already prone, so that's fine. So then the other one will have to make a dex save. Dexterity. is successful.
You bastard! You bastard!
So it manages to
Fucking-
maintain standing. Right. Basic.
Help me.
There's one way I can help you. I go down there and I fucking shred the guy lying down.
This guy will get an attack of opportunity against you.
Why?
Because you walked like this. Oh,
Yeah.
unless you want to walk like all the way around.
Yeah, I'll stay away from him. It was
Sure.
more like, yeah. And then it's with advantage, isn't it?
Yeah, because they're prone.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 18.
That is a hit.
I'll use the favorite foe thingy.
Okay.
The
12.
12 damage.
So then they get before you make your other attack. Let me just roll to see with advantage rates. Wisdom
Yeah.
save. All right. Still laughing. Still having a hell of a time. So 12 points of damage. Your second attack also hits.
Well,
I
that's
also
fucking-
get favored foe.
No, it's just
It's
once per
once per turn. Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Could I use a bonus? Is favorite foe bonus action?
No, favorite foe. You just like when you hit, you can activate it as part of hitting.
Because can I like throw Hunter's Mark? Doesn't that work on melee attacks
Well,
as
you wouldn't be able to use both because favorite foe takes concentration, so you can't use both.
right.
And also, you need your bonus action to attack with your offhand.
Right. Never mind. Yeah, that's it then. Those.
Well, you gotta roll the damage for your offhand attack.
It's 2.
Oh, it's 2. Okay, 2 piercing damage, and that's another save with advantage. This time it manages to stop giggling. So its turn is next. It's going to stand up, and as it does, you notice that the wounds that like you stabbed into it like pretty deep, like made some pretty significant wounds. They begin to stitch close as the creature regenerates.
Well, I just gotta hit harder, hit more.
And stands up. And it is going to turn to you, seeing as you have attacked it, and is going to attempt to attack you with its scimitar.
Hope Oliver has some thunder wave up his sleeve.
20 will hit you,
Yeah, it's
dealing 6 points of slashing damage.
Oh, he's okay. Kind of.
He's
At
up.
the end of his turn, he's got to make the dex save again.
yes. At the end of his turn.
Yep. Okay. Dexterity saving throw. He is successful. So he's not fall prone. Olivar. Don't want to skip him. Let's see what he has. He does not have Thunder Wave.
Remember, you have a basic snack, basic.
I think it's already come off.
Well, he's got like the one that you can eat though to gain an extra 2 hit points later on, don't you?
I mean, I was assuming we would already have eaten it like ahead of time.
Yeah.
I already had the 2 hit points.
Oh, that's how it works. Yes, my mistake.
I mean, you can hold on to it, but there's no reason not to just like eat it right away.
Yeah.
I think he's going to cast. So a little bit suboptimal because it doesn't have full targets, but he is going to cast Bane on the 2 creatures. They will both have to make a charisma saving throw against
The Olivar.
Yes.
Alright.
Against a DC 14. Fail and fail, so they are both
Yachts. Bane.
Okay.
You're the god.
This
alive.
one, you hit.
My turn.
Oh yes, your turn. Your turn, Valerie.
Yes. Alright, let's see here. I mean, Caustic Brew didn't do anything last time, but what are the chances it'll do something this time, eh? Does Olivar maybe give out a Bardic, by the way, on his turn with his bonus action?
No, he'll save him.
Damn. I hate you, Oliver. Alright, dexterity saving throw. Yeah, so it's a line 30 feet long, 5 feet wide. So I can hit both of them with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Valerie will take out one of her like caustic brew concoctions, except this time, after the failure of last time, it looks like she's altered the design slightly.
Hmm.
So, what she does this time is she actually holds out the bottle in front of her and then flips a switch. You hear some gears whirring as like a little I imagine latch flips and opens up, and the high pressurized carbonated acid shoots out.
Carbonated acid.
Carbonated acid shoots out in a line.
You didn't shake it up first?
No, she shook it up.
Oh, okay.
All right, so that's a dexterity save. All right, cool.
Yep.
All right. First one is a fail, and also a fail.
Yes! Yes! It did something the new design worked!
Okay. So that it doesn't have an immediate effect, but basically they're coated in acid.
Yep.
All right.
So at the start of each of their turns, they'll take 2d4
Yeah,
acid
so
damage.
at the start of this creature's turn, first things first, you hit it with Ray of Frost last turn. It's gone. Okay, yeah. So it does regenerate from the damage that it received. Oop, not that much. From the damage it received, and then it takes the 2d4 acid. So if you could give that to me, that is 4. All right. It is going to step out of the grease, seeing the slippy floor. And it is going to look over at Arya. And you sort of feel this this sensation, sort of like this heaviness falling over you. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
No! Do I have a portent?
My portent's a 1.
No. So with that is a failure. So you succumb to the Jackalware's sleep gaze.
I can't be put to sleep.
That is correct.
Hog!
The magical slumber, yes. So you like see this happen, like fail, but your elven nature prevents you from succumbing to it.
Oh, Arya's awesome!
It sort of growls angrily. And it is going to spend the rest of its movement to basically get right up in your face with the scimitar.
I'm gonna stare right back at it and cast Mind Sliver.
Okay. Intelligence save.
And it takes a d4 from Bane.
Yeah, it already failed anyways, so 1 psychic damage.
Enjoy that 1 psychic.
And some other things.
Yeah, it gets an extra Bane.
An extra Bane on its next saving throw. It's super, super baned. Basic.
Yeah. After it regenerated a little bit, how wounded does it look?
It looks like the wounds didn't close up completely, but they're mostly gone.
Fudge. Okay, I'm gonna throw Hunter's Mark. Yeah, fudge. Okay, I'm gonna cure wounds myself and throw Hunter's Mark. Can't I do those two at the same time?
No, you cannot cast 2 leveled
yeah.
spells on the same turn.
Okay, right. That's how it works. Oh, fudge. Fuck it. I'm just gonna heal myself and.
You just disengage to get out.
Yeah, how the fuck am I supposed to use disengage if I don't heal myself?
Just a thought.
Yeah, but If he moves up after me, I'm dead anyway. Uh.
I mean, Cure Wounds, he is baned.
Huh?
Well, he'll take a D4 off of any attack roll that he makes against you because he's baned.
Uh.
Brr.
Yeah, I'm just gonna heal myself because fuck, I have no
Okay.
health whatsoever.
Nice.
All right. You heal yourself for 8 hit points. Not bad. Right. Do you want to move or anything like that, or just staying put?
Moving one step to the side, just like this.
Okay.
Not out of his range.
This
Good,
one.
good.
He's been hit by. Got hit by. No, hasn't been hit by anything since. So, at the start of its turn, it is going to first regenerate and then take the 2d4 acid damage.
Oh, whoop, that was 1. There we go, 5.
5 acid damage. The grease is difficult terrain, right? That's what it. Yeah.
Yep.
So, I think it is going to move over to here, kind of next to its buddy. And it is going to attack Valerie.
Ow. Not Pog.
And it has advantage due to their pack tactics. 20
Does hit.
for 3 slashing damage.
No, I lost my temp HP and 1 normal HP.
Damn. Got him. All right. That is its go. Olivar sees this one kind of coming up on Theron. At this point, probably noticed like when Bassic stabbed it, it didn't really seem to stick. So he is going to protect you the best way that he knows how by making the enemy have a hard time hitting you, and he is going to insult them with a very insulting insult that he comes up with.
Your mother is a hamster and your father smells of elderberries.
Classic insult.
Something like that.
I bite my thumb at you, sir. All right. Wisdom save. Yeah. Minus 2d4. No way, no how.
Goes in negatives.
Yes. So he fails. Takes a 3 psychic damage and has disadvantage on its next attack. Valerie.
Was it this one that got disadvantaged or this one?
This one. The one that was moving up
That
to
one.
like attack Arya, it seemed like.
Right, okay. Right. Don't have much I can do here, sadly. Let me just check something quickly. So, you've let me use my arcane armor in the past to like use on athletics checks. I'm just wondering, how is it you knock someone prone again in this game?
You take you replace your attack with a special shove attack, and you make an athletics check contested by their athletics or acrobatics. And if you win, basically, you can either push them backwards 5 feet or knock them prone.
Right, okay. Better to knock him prone or try and push him 5 feet away. I mean, if I knock him prone, then you can probably lay into him more, and so I guess I'll do that. Alright,
Nope.
so I guess I'll spend a charge of my arcane armor to substitute my strength for my intelligence modifier, and make an athletics check to knock him prone. So, d20 plus 4. Oh my god! I'll use my inspiration!
Okay.
I end up doing the recap all the time anyway, so...
Right, 14.
14.
Doing it next week as well.
Yeah,
out.
roll
You didn't.
d4,
You
Brad.
didn't even
Roll
need to.
d4.
You did. No, it's not on ability. Bane doesn't work on ability checks, but yeah, you win anyways.
Yep.
You didn't have to use your inspiration.
Yeah, it turns out you didn't, but you don't know that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Even if it had advantage.
So you are able to knock it prone. That is your action. You can still move or bonus action, but otherwise.
Yes. Let's see. Do I want to? If I move here, no, I'll stay where I am.
All right. This one is going to is kind of being burned by this acid. It's going to spend its action to kind of swipe the acid off of it, basically.
Well, it still takes damage at the start of its turn, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it'll still take 3.
Okay.
Fuck your
So
regen.
Takes 3, and then washes the acid off of it. And then moves here. Right, Arya.
I'm gonna mine. Same one.
Okay.
Come on.
Well, it fails. The damage leaves something to be desired, but
Yeah, minor headache.
hey, enough minor headaches, and it will eventually die.
Oh!
And you have dealt damage to it. I cast a spell, so that is good. All right, Basic. This one.
I'm gonna. Yes, I'm gonna. Give me a second here. Just. I'm gonna go use my hunter's mark
Okay.
on this guy. I rolled just that I'm using it. And then 14. Does that hit?
A 14 is a hit.
Do you want me to roll hunter's mark damage over again, or do you want me to?
No, we'll just use that one because it's right there.
Right.
Okay, so 8 points of damage. That
Magical
was
damage.
your bonus action and action, so that is all.
Yes.
All right. This creature does not regenerate and takes more acid damage. 3 more points of acid damage. Stands up and is going to wipe the acid off. All right. Olivar is going to. I mean, the combo of the mind sliver vicious mockery is pretty good, so I think he's going to continue doing that. Another vicious mockery at the same one. Say wisdom. Oh yeah. Man, they've been
These
rolling.
have shit wisdom checks.
They've been rolling some hot rolls here. All right. Valerie, you're up. All right, this one stood up, so not prone.
They're both up. It's scary. Let's see. That one's up next. I could try and knock him prone again, I suppose. I mean, they are Bane, so...
If you knock this one prone, it's just gonna stand up on its next turn.
Yeah, that one's gonna stand up, but this one won't.
That one won't, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll just do it again.
Okay.
I mean, it is baned, I suppose. So...
Yeah, but that doesn't...
Oh, come on!
Alright, this time you are unable to.
I hate this game.
Push it prone.
I'm sorry, Morton, I failed you.
Alright.
It's okay. I didn't expect much from you.
This
What?
one does not regenerate. It is going to... looking at the two of you that are constantly casting this hideous mind spells on it, is going to go after Arya with disadvantage.
I'm gonna give it a 1.
All right. In that case, you will override the disadvantage swing, not taking the chance, and give it a 1. And it will miss. And you are out of your portents. It is your turn.
I'm a mindfuck it.
Gross.
Sliver it. Sliver it!
Ooh.
Bane!
The Bane will
Bane.
will knock it down. As you cast your sort of insidious magic into this creature's mind, you see it like yelps in pain, and blood begins to pour from its like eyes and ears, and it drops to the ground, dead. Reverting in form, you see that as it dies, its body seems to shift and change into that of a bog standard like jackal, as in just like the animal.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, they are not were jackals; they are jackal wares.
What the fuck? What the fuck? That's some next level mindfuckery.
We're humans.
Where human?
I mean, where means human.
Yeah, so like normally like
They're human.
Yeah, like if you do the way it works, and I think you would like know this kind of probably a little bit about like lycanthropes, is basically like there's two kinds, right? There's the kind that are humans that turn into animals, and then there are animals that turn into humans. And basically like where you put the where in the name it determines that.
I mean, I suppose their names are Jackalware, so I guess I should have probably saw that coming.
Yeah, but that one is 100% dead. Basic.
Deal more magic damage. That's not what I said.
No, I sliced it twice by mistake. I didn't see the roll right away. And
Well,
nope.
it's not prone.
Good.
Yeah, so the first one misses, the second one hits. You deal 8 points of piercing damage to it. It goes unconscious.
It did? Or unconscious?
It falls unconscious on the ground. Do you want to
Stop
like
it.
move or anything like that?
Whatever.
All right, if you're gonna stay put. On its turn.
I can't do anything else, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could have like moved or whatever, but on its
Yeah,
turn,
yeah.
it was not hit, so it does regenerate.
Doesn't Puncher's Mark deal magic damage?
Yes,
No,
it is.
so this specific trait basically is only blocked out by two certain things, which Hunter's Mark does not apply for.
Okay.
So it does regenerate and stand up. But it sees that its companion is dead. And so it is going to let out a loud, sort of like howling noise.
God, it's gonna be like the Resident Evil 4 thing. We're gonna have to hole up in this cabin.
Or we get the hell out of here.
And then it is going to attack Basic. 20 will hit you, dealing 5 points of slashing damage.
So
Yeah,
I don't know what his AC.
Yeah, his AC is 15, so a 4 wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, wouldn't matter. So he takes 5 points of slashing damage, and that is that. Olivar, seeing this one is dead, just sort of unceremoniously steps over the corpse. And I think he is going to... there are two of you probably have got like the magic thing handled, so I think he's just going to stab this one. 15 will hit and deal 7 points of piercing damage. Valerie.
I suppose with disadvantage, Frostbolt. Ray of Frost even. 14.
14 is a hit. And 4 damage is enough to finish this creature off. And as you are attacking with a ranged spell, it is killed and reverts into the form of a jackal.
All right.
There's definitely going to be more coming.
Let's try and get some of their books and get the hell out of here. Search quickly.
How many people did I see walk into this house?
There were 7 total.
7.
Yeah, but none of them came out again?
No, I mean, they came here for the night. Like, this is where they live.
Yeah. Just making sure. I go like, well, there's still 5 of them.
We're gonna stay in initiative for the time being. You basically have like a round, right, to do something.
All right, is this Grease still here?
I mean, she's still concentrating on it. Yes. Otherwise.
It's not.
Oh no, it's not. Okay, then it's
Nope,
just
it's just a
still
minute.
there.
All right, just a minute, still there. Very well.
I'll open this door.
All right. As you open the door, you see it is dark in the hallway, but you have dark vision, and some light spills in from the room you're currently in, where there's like a flickering candlelight. And you
oh,
see.
I'll pull. Oh, right. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, we're acting in initiative still. So she opens the door. You see basically what looks like a wide corridor, but it's like crowded with a number of like cots basically that are like lined up around. And you see basically there is another one of these creatures sleeping in their like hybrid form that is like just waking up basically. So they're conscious but still sort of like prone in the bed. At this point, I will roll them in.
I suppose you have another Grease for when they get down.
I am completely tapped. Did opening the door use my action?
Oh,
No, it's
would you like
it's
to
an
know?
object. It's your object interaction for the
Alright.
turn. All right, are you casting that on the one in the that you see there? All right.
Yep.
Intelligence. That is a fail for psychic damage.
Back. There's more.
Basic.
What's that? I'm just checking something. Uh, I'm gonna use my bonus action to put Hunter's Mark on this one
Okay.
because I still concentration on it, and then I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm dropping my swords and just pulling out the bow and just.
All right, your swords clatter to the ground as you pull the bow out.
Yeah. Oh, longbow. Just 16.
16 is a hit.
And that one plus Hunter's Mark.
8 and 5 is 13. All right. A quick arrow shot. All right, yeah, 16. A disadvantage, but that's the lower number anyways. Yeah, so you quick shot like right into its like chest basically as it's like getting up. It's not dead, but like that is a pretty like hefty wound basically. And it's like grabbing its head, like reeling in pain from the shock there. Olivar doesn't want to expend his last one quite yet. He is going to give a bardic inspiration to we'll say Valerie again. Basic's pretty good at what he does. He doesn't need the help as much.
Battle
Okay,
with the
Brad.
trash talk, James.
And then he's going to like move in and try to like finish this one off before it gets up. Not blocking the doorway. That is what advantage? That is a hit. And he stabs it through the throat, and with this horrible gurgling noise, it dies in its bed where it was sleeping, and reverts in form to that of a jackal. Sort of blood on these blood-stained cot.
Just get me my bow instead of swords. Everything's fine.
Would you mind if you pick up your swords again?
Valerie.
Yeah. So like thinking on the note that you might have to pick up his swords again, I'm gonna give him some tasty HP.
Right, you can
Step up.
heal.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet baby Jesus.
11.
Nice. There
So
you
that
go.
was 5 feet. Um, 5 feet. Oh, it looks dark in there actually.
Yeah, there's no light in that hallway.
Let's check something quickly. Wand of Pyrotechnics. God, I've got 2 characters in your game, Brad. Have this fucking item.
It creates light, but it's like momentary, right? It like appears and then disappears,
Yeah.
like a firework. So it's a good like
Um,
distractionary measure, but it's not good for like prolonged light or whatever.
right then, it's dark in there. So I suppose, item interaction, strike a torch.
That would be an action, right? You have to pull the torch out and then light it as an action.
Ah, well then I suppose item interaction, pull it out.
Okay, yeah. So you can pull it out, right, and then you'll have it ready for next turn.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to do anything with your? Oh yeah, you cure wound. All right, that's it. All right. This one is going to get up basically out of the bed, and Olivar is going to make a wisdom saving throw for no particular reason.
No particular reason whatsoever.
Sleeping
He
does.
is fine. This door bursts open with a sort of yipping noise coming from inside.
Oh, there's light now. Never mind. Fuck you,
There's
torch.
some coming from the other room, yeah. Illuminating some of the hallway. And you see 2 more of these creatures emerging and sort of surrounding Olivar, who kind of very quickly is coming to regret his decision to run up and try to finish this one off. They are both going to take swings, one of them readying basically until the other one was in position. Doing so with advantage. 18 hits for 4. I'll take that. And then the other one misses. Amazing rolls. A 1 and a 2. Arya.
This. Ones and fours. That's all I can roll.
Hey, that's
Oh man, 4 is better than that 1.
comes out
Very
to
much
average. Yeah. Fail. 4 points of damage and a D4 on his next save. Right, Basic.
Quick question. Can an item interaction take one of my swords and sheath it on my turn as well as I'm shooting?
So you can shoot and then like pick one up, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Shoot and just like sheath it.
I don't think you'd be able to pick it up and sheath it, but you can like basically
Okay.
like shoot, pick it up, and then like before you shoot next turn, you can put it away.
Okay, then I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm just having it in my hand meanwhile.
Mhm.
Okay, then where's my longbow? There's my longbow. And
That is a hit.
Man, you weren't
Damn,
fucking kidding. The moment you pull out the bow, everything goes fine.
I need a bow, man. I'm not the sword user.
Arrow through like the back of the head, basically. It falls over. It took the damage from the spell, so it is dead. Dead. Super dead.
Please always use the bow.
Right. But you sent me in first.
Olivar, he's a scrapper. He's gonna stay in here. And he's gonna give him what for.
Oliver, you failed us.
And he immediately regrets staying in and trying to give him what for.
Everywhere the jackal's
Valerie.
dying.
Yep, so I'm gonna take a step here just to get myself a clear shot. And then I'm going to throw a little frost vial at it.
That is a hit. 7 points of cold damage.
That's me.
All right. This one is up. She's that. Valerie, can you make a wisdom saving throw for me?
Okie dokie.
All right.
Think that's fine. I won't use my bardic.
Yep. You are fine. This one is going to attack Olivar with advantage. Hits for 7. Olivar is going to use his Stone's Endurance.
Come on, Oliver! I believe.
And negate the damage. Just sort of
I
shreds it up.
believe.
He like, as the sword is coming to him, he like moves into it and it like takes it on like a calloused part of his like armor and just deflects it.
Just flexes it like his pecs are just like, no, you don't. Oh,
Arya.
Hey, Nikki, are you my little jackal? Are you my little jackal?
About that one.
Another 4.
Another 4 points of psychic damage. Right. Basic, you can sort of put away your one sword and then fire, but you have to move, obviously, because you can't see him currently.
Yeah. I'm sheathing the sword, jumping, like, crossing over here 10 feet, whoomp, shooting this guy.
Okay.
There's no, what is it called again? I'm also moving my hunter's mark to hit. I'm
Okay.
using my bonus action for that. And, where is it? There it is. Fucking hell, man. Zunk. Zunk.
All right, 8
that's
points
not that good.
of damage.
And then, can I use more of my movement and go back to the other place?
Yeah.
Yep. Getting ready to take up my next sword.
All right. Olivar. Well, first let me...
Yeah.
All right. Open this.
God.
You want some food level 1? Yes.
Why do I feel like we're just pest control now?
Oh, of course, there's like fucking 3 more initiatives being rolled now.
We just need to kill these ones as quickly as possible.
Stab. He stab. Ooh, not enough to finish it off. Valerie.
Did he stab this one?
Yes. Because it seemed
Right.
the most weakened, having been hit by your frost vial.
I
Alright.
hit it again.
Another hit, and another lethal spell. And it is dead.
Yes! Yeah!
It's dead. And the body count rises on the number of humanoids slain.
They're doggos.
They revert to dogs. But they are technically humanoids. And citizens of the city. All right. 10, 20. And Olivar is going to make a wisdom save. All right, he is fine.
Oliver! I love you!
All right.
Who needs a tank
one
when
of
you
these-
have a bard?
It's one of these fucking wisp thingies.
What's the range? 5 feet. Let me take it back. You see, basically, one of these wisp things appears. And it is going to zap out this sort of like ray at Olivar. That is a hit. And it is going to deal how much damage? Alright. Let's see here. Target. Alright. 9 points of necrotic damage.
Ouch.
And Oliver needs to make a con save. He fails. So he gains 1 level of exhaustion. As his life force is being drained away. This Jackaware, seeing him in somewhat of a weakened state, is going to take advantage of this and try to finish him off. With advantage, hits for 8 slashing damage, knocking Oliver unconscious. And is going to move out into the room here. And just get all up in everyone's business. Arya.
I don't see the wisp.
All right.
Oh, there's a jackal.
Keep doing 4 damage. Shit, 3.
3, that's no good.
See what happens when you criticize 4?
Oh my god, it
It's like
succeeded.
Never mind. Nothing.
It succeeded for once. Holy crap. Alright, Basset is now in melee range of you.
Yeah, I can see that. You know what? Fuck it. 14.
Disadvantage.
14 is a
Let's
hit.
go.
14. Hits,
Mhm.
miss.
It's a hit. It's a
Okay.
hit.
It's the one I have a Hunter's Mark on, right?
Well, you'd have to bonus action to... Oh, wait, no. Yeah,
No,
this
that
is the
was
one.
the
This is the
It
one.
was standing. It was standing
Yeah,
there.
that's the one.
Okay. So awesome.
A different one. Oof. 12 piercing. Youch. Big hit.
+1. +1 Hunter's Mark
Yep.
damage.
Got that. 13 total. Right. 5, 10. Move you. You see a second one of these creatures. But it has to dash to get there.
I also use my item interaction to lift up my sword.
Sure.
Just
Oh no!
Valerie.
Yep.
You're gonna kill
Um,
someone's character and they're not even here.
Oh,
I don't know
fuck's
what's
sake.
going on.
I either take 2 opportunity attacks to try and frostbolt kill this fucking thing, or I just do the melee disadvantage. Don't think I have much of a choice, though. Ray of Frost disadvantage on the Jackal. I'll use my Bardic Inspiration
Okay.
to maybe hit. I don't think that's enough.
It's a 12. A 12 is a hit.
Oh!
That is not enough to finish it off.
But yeah, one of your one now. One psychic things.
All right. You. I'll see. Not in sort of hybrid jackal form. The sort of tall, well-built, muscular, like middle-aged woman, who like presented basically as the manager of the stall, walks up with this like big sort of like scimitar basically in her hand. Walks up to Olivar, holding the scimitar to like his neck basically, and shouts out, "I do not know what is going on here, but I will stand for this no longer. Drop your weapons, or I will kill your friend."
Ooh.
This jackal, like hearing this, is just going to like stand like for a moment, like see how the situation breaks down. Or just sort of like readying, basically like looking at each of you. Arya.
I'll hold Mind Sliver until something aggressive happens.
All right. Basic.
I knock my bow and like ready to shoot if anything happens.
All right. Still readying your weapon, holding on to it. Got it. This thing is going to hold back for now. Let me do this to up the tension of the situation. All right. Valerie.
Yes, my turn. All right. So she's got her scimitar to Olivar's neck. That ain't good at all. Nothing I can do to stop her killing him. Hmm.
I mean, she did
Well, I
shout,
see these
like,
wispy
basically to,
things.
like, drop your weapons.
I have no weapons in my hand.
And so far, the only person that has a weapon in their hand does not drop the weapon.
It's basic, yeah.
I expected you guys to, talk it out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, like, I see these wispy things, and I know that these things tried to kill us, and obviously the things from the books. And I would, I would probably like shout back to her, and it's like, why would we do such a thing when you've already killed so many of the city? You think that you won't just kill us? You think that we don't know you'll just kill us too?
All right. I guess is that your?
And
your
I guess
turn?
I'll ready a frostbolt against this guy in case I get attacked.
Okay. So still holding like the scimitar. I guess he sort of like shouts out and says, I see that you do not care for this one very much, as you are still aiming your weapons at us and casting your spells. I will do this if you do not back down. Perhaps we can discuss this a bit more, like civilized people, instead of butchering people like animals.
I'm not going to
Butchering,
say it.
butchering animals like animals.
We tried that already.
Alright, this one. It's not been attacked, so it's still just standing by, but you see its like wounds closing up. It's just sort of like looking around. Tension in the air. Arya.
I'll drop the spell and do nothing.
Okay. Basic.
I will like lower the bow. I won't put it down, but I will like lower it meanwhile.
Okay. All right. Valerie.
Then let's have a talk, shall we?
All right, so you sort of like lower your posture or whatever. As seeing
A
all
little
of you,
bit.
all of you sort of backing off, they similarly sort of like back off a little bit. She's still sort of like holding the scimitar within like ready to like strike distance, if something crazy goes on. But she sort of like pulls back a little bit, and she says, "There. Now is that so hard? Now could you perhaps explain why you have broken into my house and killed my family?"
I'll sort of say, well, we've been looking into the mysterious murders around the city. And says, and when it happened, the trail took us straight to you lot. Now, like, sort of gesture over to this wispy thing over here. And I say it's like, rather ingenious disguising these things as books.
And she just sort of like, kind of like grimaces, and she's just like, "Murders. I do not know what you speak of. I have ordered no killings. I have killed nobody."
Then what are these?
Yeah. Can I just say like, I mean, can I go check on his pulse, just make sure he's alive? If he's dead, I mean, it's kind of waste of you to stand there and threaten to kill him.
Please. If I have your promises, you will make no hostile moves towards us. You can come
I
check
put
on your friend.
I put my bow down and my sword's next to it, and I kind of like hold my hands up as I walk towards it.
Yeah, she sort of like nods to the other Jackal-wearers, kind of like looking at you as you move up. Yeah, and you bend over. Can you make a medicine check? As you're sort of looking over him. All right. As you sort of check his pulse, at first you're a little bit worried that there's like no response or anything, but then you hear like or feel like a faint like pulse, barely holding on.
2 failures, 2 successes. Stabilize him.
You can
yeah,
you can
medicine.
stabilize him with that roll.
Yeah,
All right.
that's what I'm doing. And I go like, okay. And I kind of like lift my hands up again, and I go back like, you're stable now, so. And I kind of just like take a step backwards again.
Yeah, she doesn't make any like hostile moves
So,
towards you.
question about like lycanthropes.
Yeah.
So I trust, given like the orders, what they were saying, it's like, we're hunting lycanthropes in this city. Lycanthropes aren't an accepted part of civil society, at least up here, right?
I mean,
Like they are considered monsters.
it depends. They're still people, right? Like they're like cursed people. So like they still technically like fall under like the protection of like city laws and whatnot. And generally speaking, like if they're not like doing anything like evil necessarily, they aren't necessarily seen as like just hideous outsiders. Like they're people, cursed people, but still people.
So what about the Order of the Gauntlet saying that they were like hunting for them?
I mean, the Gauntlet is not the city. Like the Gauntlet's an external organization.
Ah,
So their
like a
opinions may
militant
differ.
paramilitary force.
Yeah, their opinions and policies might differ.
Okay, fair enough. I guess they would be subject to prejudices, though, right?
I mean, probably, yeah. I mean, there's definitely like there are people that turn into like animals and stuff. Like there's always like
That's
this
gross.
kind of like like it's just weird or like horrifying. But a lot of times they're just like vilified for being like different or whatever. And I mean,
Okay.
there are lycanthropes that tend to like be evil. It's sort of like a natural bent to them, but like there's degrees, right? Like there are lycanthropes that are just like self-interested and selfish, but not necessarily like mustache twirling evil.
Okay, fair enough. But yes, so Valerie would like continue, and she'd say it's like, if you've truly ordered no killings, then why have these whatever these things are been peddled around the city in the case of peddled around the city disguised as books, killing indiscriminately?
And she just sort of like backs off a little bit. Now that like tensions have sort of like dissolved a little bit, she's like kind of like puts her scimitar to the side a little bit, like gesturing with her hands as she speaks, and she says, "These creatures, they were part of our plan. A gift given to me by our pack leader before she was slain by adventurers. We had done nothing wrong, but they saw her as evil and killed her with prejudice and malice. We sought to bring her back. These creatures, they were part of this. We meant no ill will. I had ordered them strictly to remain in their object forms. I do not know why they would break these orders and kill people. That was not my intention.
What are they?
They are Gingwatsums."
Right, I do a check. So you want to know what that is?
Make an Arcana check. Any of you who's trained in Arcana can make the check as well.
I'm skipping that.
Oh, come on!
Neither of you are familiar with the concept.
Okay. And how are they supposed to bring back your pack leader? Are they some sort of necromantic creatures or whatever?
They are capable of disguising themselves as objects, so long as you have seen or possessed the original. We were disguising them as tomes, valuable ones, to raise money, to pay for a resurrection spell.
Okay. I'd like Big Valerie would be just be like, what? Turns
I'm just
to
kind of like a little bit bamboozled by the whole thing. Going like, what?
yeah, I sort of like look over at Arya. It's like you ever heard of anything like this before?
No.
Yeah. How much does a resurrection spell tend to cost, Brad? Since we had to get Sheldrick one, I guess I know about the price.
It depends on like the state of like
Depends
the
on how
body.
dead they are.
Yeah, it depends on how long they've been dead, the state of the body, that sort of thing.
Well, what
That's
about
how
like,
dead
you
they
know, bring back someone that's been dead for a significant amount of time? Was it true resurrection or whatever?
Incredibly expensive if available at all.
Right.
Like you would probably have to go to like some.
Hard enough to even find anyone that's
Yeah.
able to cast.
It would be
Yeah.
incredibly
So,
difficult.
so Valerie would kind of look a bit befuddled, and she'll say, "Wait, you were selling these creatures just to con yourselves enough money to afford a resurrection?"
And she sort of like nods and says, "Our leader. She was slain. We are lost without her. Without Nidalia. She showed us a way to live without devolving into beasts. And she was killed."
I'll say, well, be that as it may, for some reason, and I'll say it's like these creatures have appeared to have been breaking their seals. They've already, let's see, how. Let me just check my notes quickly. How many people they've killed? I think it was 2 or 3 already. Da-da-da-da. Please, 3 victims, yeah. And I would say it's like these things have already killed 3 people around the city, almost a 4th, almost a 5th, in fact, as one of them attacked me the previous night.
She sort of like snarls and sort of says, "So what? You have killed 5 of my people now. I think that makes us even."
And I'll say, well, this could have been avoided if your people were more talkative at the stalls, but putting that aside, say, we can't, and it says, I trust you know we can't leave until you cease these activities. We'll need you to give us the books.
Says, "This is the only way that we can earn the money to bring back Nidalia. And now the rest of my family as well. How else are we supposed to earn money in this place that looks down on us?"
There are many ways to earn money without having to resort to deadly trickery. It says, I have nothing against the fact that you were acting disingenuous and selling these books falsely. I do not care about that in the slightest. What I do care about is the fact that they were killing people indiscriminately who had nothing to do with what happened to your leader. And I'll sort of think for a moment. And I'll like,
I kind of go like, how much money do you guys need?
And she just sort of shakes her head. "I do not know, but I know it is a great sum. Greater now."
I turn to Arya and it's like, I'm not quite sure what you did or who you knew before you joined up with us. I don't suppose you know anyone who might need some work.
Do I?
Yeah, I mean, you don't, maybe, like, not off the top of your head, but, like, your, like, people you know always need, like, help with, like, this or that. And there may be, like, something that they might need the help of, like, more unscrupulous types to deal with. They're not afraid to, like, get their hands dirty, quote unquote, for the greater good. But off the top of your head, you probably can't think of anything. But likely, you're not sure if it would be like long-term gainful employment, though. More like a one-off kind of thing.
Not off the top of my head. Sure, I could find
Hmm.
something, at least temporary.
Well, there's that.
I like okay. Out of character, it's been a while since I've been here. How up to date is Trollskull Manor now?
So work has just begun on fixing the foundation and plumbing that has been paid for. Nothing else has been done. The garbage has been cleared out, but other than that, nothing else has like started yet.
Yeah, there's the handout like costs and renovations. We're about halfway through the monetary cost required. Uh,
Okay.
but yes, I suppose Valerie will continue. It's like you're obviously capable if you're able to turn these creatures into books and resourceful. And she'll say it's like I'm sure you'd be able to find some work that's more profitable. And given the situation, I think that we could maybe even be liable to give you a hand. However, as I say, you'll need to hand over the remaining books. It's too dangerous for you to continue peddling them.
And she just sort of like grips her sword and just sort of says, I cannot accept promises of would-be's and maybes. I need something concrete. This is the future of my family, of our livelihood. If you can offer no alternative, then we cannot cease what we are doing.
I open the forum. Anyone have any bright ideas? Otherwise, I feel like we're just gonna have to keep wailing on them.
Said, we might relinquish the tomes. Try something else. But we need something concrete.
Concrete, eh? Hmm. Oh man, that could be a real piece of shit. Just tell the gauntlet where they are if we manage to get out of here. Um, I'll say, well, I suppose that's better than nothing. And it's like, concrete then, eh? It says, if we were to go and look to see if there's anything that we could find for you, would you be willing to wait here?
She sort of nods and she says, sure, but your friend will be staying with us as insurance that you will not do anything tricky or attempt to betray us.
Understandable. And I'll sort of like look over at Basic and Arya, and it's like, let's get back to town for now.
Yeah.
I nod.
Go to leave, like, I'll probably like do like the cautious like backing out.
I'm taking all my weapons that I put down earlier. So
I imagine this grease pile just dissipates at some point.
Eventually, during like the conversation, yeah, as you're all like backing out, you see like Corvala grabbing Olivar, basically, barking some orders to the other one, who basically just kind of like falls to their like knees, basically in front of this other like, well, at this point like a jackal. And it's just sort of like sobbing silently as you're all leaving.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Yes, I guess
my family member is dead. Boo-hoo.
Elder like confirms.
we do know you don't care, considering you got two characters killed already. So we know you don't care, James.
Excuse me, Sheldrake came back.
I still died though.
All right, so
All right.
where do you go? It's nighttime, so
I guess back to Waterdeep would be the most prudent option.
sure.
So I suppose as we're walking back, like Barry will sort of say to the rest, and it's like, well, I didn't really expect it going that way. I was, and he says, any ideas?
I shrug, go like, I have no idea. I was thinking maybe we could give them some employment at Troll School Manor, but that's not happening anytime soon.
Yes, I don't think they'd want to work with us considering what we just did. Rainier is already sending work our way. I don't really know if you'll be able to help with them, or if you'd want to. I'll be honest, I was kind of thinking that that maybe enlisting the assistance of the Gauntlet might be in order, since they are hunting lycanthropes anyhow. But considering that they have all of our captive, I don't know how good an idea that is. I don't reckon that the Gauntlet would place much, what's the term? Value on rescuing our friend?
Probably not.
Most likely not, no.
I mean, they're lawful good, Brad.
No,
Does
not
that-
necessarily.
Fuck, never mind then.
They follow like a triumvirate of gods, right? And some of them are like lawful good, but some of them are just like pure lawful, like, justice and vengeance and whatnot. Like
Lawful good, not
they
lawful
can,
nice.
yeah, they can totally be like, a necessary sacrifice for the greater good sometimes.
Mhm.
But
We'll see.
by the way, I hand Valerie a letter opener.
What?
I just take it
What did
out and I give it.
Where did you get
You're-
this?
Remember the one you tried to steal when we were on the pocket dimension that everybody did want you to steal, right?
Oh my! What? When did? Oh,
I go like
well,
smooth fingers.
I suppose this is a little bit of extra gold. Couldn't hurt. Thank you.
Everyone left the room, and I was like, you know what? In my pocket.
Oh my god. Letter opener. Fucking amazing. Where's 4?
Jeweled letter opener.
Hmm.
I'm just letting him know.
Oh.
Bejeweled letter opener. Has some jewels in
Are
it.
you
Maybe it's
are
worth
you
something.
are you ratting him out? Is that what you're doing?
Always.
All right. So,
are you guys returning to the manor?
yes, they said they'd be willing to wait, and I didn't give them a time limit. Ha ha ha. So yes, I think for now we'll go back to Troll Skull Manor just to like think on how next to act. Besides, I'm pretty sure like all the guild halls are closed for the evening anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely at this point. It's past business hours.
Let's rest up.
All right. So you return to the Troll Skull Manor.
Yes. Is Sheldrake around?
Yeah, Sheldrake is probably sort of in the tap room, like sort of looking after the children, and you see he's got some like balance sheets now that he's basically kind of like taking care of as far as like contracting out the repairs and whatnot.
hmm So I suppose as we make our way back and people like start to like, do whatever it is they do, I go over to Sheldrake and it's like, evening Sheldrake. Is Sir Reginald doing any better?
Well, judging by the cacophony
Screams.
of gargling noises upstairs, I would presume not.
We just hear a dwarven man shout, "Kill me!"
Kill me!
Yes, that sounds about right.
I'll make some chicken, boiled chicken and rice broth to him, so it's good for the stomach.
Yeah. Anyway, so like I'll sort of like tell Sheldrake what happened this evening, and then I'll like wrap it off and say it's like So the situation at the moment is a bit troublesome. I don't suppose you know of anyone who would be in use for such skilled forgers and people that can manipulate creatures in such a way.
And he sort of like furrows his brow, and he just sort of says, I do not know why you would assume I have connections with such dubious individuals, but
Ah,
I could perhaps check with my associates if they are in need of extra manpower.
Well, it's worth a punt. And she sort of sighed, like, at this point, not entirely sure what to do. I suppose the gauntlet's always looking for lycanthropes, but like I say, I'd rather get all of our out safe and sound.
Yes, it is rather likely, if you went with the gauntlet, that things would end in blood. Lots of blood. They are not known to be forgiving of their prejudices.
I nod. And I say, well, Sheldrick, whatever associates that you might have and whatever people that they know might know who then know other people might have some use of them. Let me know. I'm going to bed.
Very well, milady. Good night. And he turns to, I guess, Arya. You kind of like came here just to like for the meeting.
Yeah.
And he just sort of says, "Shall I lay out a spare bedroll for you, or shall you be taking your leave?"
No,
And sort of
I'll return in the morning.
sort of nods. Very well. Have a good evening then, milady. And you head on your way.
Mhm.
Yep.
And the rest of you head to sleep for the night.
Settling for a long rest.
Okay. So.
Glorious spell slots.
Hmm?
No glorious spell slots.
Oh, glorious spell slots. Yes. How we missed
Yay.
you. All right.
Yep.
So you settle down for a long rest, and you are able to successfully sleep for the night, and you wake up the next day.
So, Morton, would you like the +1 on your bow or one of your swords?
Yeah, I have it on my bow. Always on my
On
bow.
your bow. Very
Your
well
bow.
then. Your bow is now +1. And I think Arya's armor goes down by 1, or all of ours, one of the two, whoever
Yeah,
I
one
gave
of
it to
ours.
I
before.
don't have armor,
Yeah.
so
She doesn't have armor.
Maybe it was all of ours. Actually, I think I gave the +1 to all of ours rapier. Now that I think about it. Anyway, I get all my armor charges back. Glorious spell slots, 1 HP, 2 temp HP from Basic Snack. All right. So, do we just gather around the next morning then?
I assume you have your morning meeting, as it
Yep.
were.
All right. So Valerie's like sort of thinking, it's like, okay. So last night I was thinking. So Brad, the details of the contract with the Watchful Order, if I'm reading my notes correctly, it's just that they want to know who was doing it and that they've stopped doing it, and they want evidence, right?
Yeah, so they basically like they wanted you to investigate like who was doing it, like put a stop to it, and like if possible, like bring them in with like evidence of their crimes.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. So Valeria's thing is like the details of the contract specify that we're going to get paid so long as we stop them, and preferably bring some evidence. So, perhaps, maybe, although the gauntlet aren't the first choice, if we were to maybe convince them that going after the lycanthropes is in their best interests, then as they approach and cause a stir, maybe we could tag along with them and sequester all of our away with one of the tomes while they're preoccupied with the lycanthropes. What do y'all think? And she's kind of got like this uncertain, like shaking smile on her face as she's proposing this idea.
I kind of just look at her while I'm eating my breakfast, going, "What? So we're gonna kill every one of them."
No, the Gauntlet are looking for lycanthropes nonetheless. What do they do
Yeah.
with? And they say it's like you got to keep in mind the Gauntlet is a vital part of this city, highly respected and valued for all the right reasons. And I'll say it's like whatever the Gauntlet deems necessary. It's like I'm sure they have the interest of the city at heart.
You have never been an outsider, have you?
Well, I didn't have many friends growing up. That's what you mean?
No, that's not what I mean. Being a lesser species. Being looked frowned upon because you're different.
Well, I don't think
Literally,
that's.
you are having them killed because they want to save their family, and that,
Very about.
huh,
Go
huh?
on.
And that they are what they are.
Well, not entirely. It says, it's just that if the Gauntlet deems that they are non-threatening, then I'm sure the Gauntlet won't kill them.
Right. I'll do
Why?
whatever you see fit, but I doubt any of those jackals will come out alive if you do that.
Well, I mean, what do you think, Arya? Beads of sweat.
Do I know the gauntlet enough to know how they would react?
Um, yeah, I mean, you probably haven't like interacted with them yourself, but you would like know like a little bit about them, and the way they operate. They tend to be the dole out punishment first, ask questions later type of people. So they're not likely to pause to consider their actions, whatever they may be. They're just going to execute them and you know figure things out afterwards.
All I know is the gauntlet's looking for like any information we pass on to them is basically a death for anyone else.
Uh, yeah, you're right. You're both right. The stupid Gauntlet and their stupid high-class militia nonsense. Hmm. Well, I guess we can't do that. Blast them.
Hell, they might even take out some neighbors while
Perhaps,
Let's go
yes.
full
Okay,
full
yes.
Inquisition, yeah.
Let's keep. I guess it's probably the best idea to keep the Gauntlet out of the equation. Hmm. Starts like thinking hard. I mean, I don't think I've got any. Yeah, even as a, I don't think any. I'm noble, but I don't think any noble connections would have use of them.
Well, I know anything though. I'm like, I don't really know much about the town though. I mean, isn't Reginald the one with the shady background?
Reginald's puking up his guts at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, he has 5 minutes to answer a question.
um,
I reached out to my contacts last night, but if I get a response at all,
yeah, I mean, Reginald in between, puking his guts out, can, he'll say, like, I can leave a message. No guarantee they'll reply.
Gotta go.
The only problem is that something. He says, "Well, you can try." The only problem I'm thinking is that that would take time. The last thing I want is for them to get impatient and do away with all of our, or at worst, another victim occurs. And it says, deal with all of our, and also maybe worst case scenario, they do that, and also another victim arises in the city
well, I
because they
imagine
keep
they're
peddling their
aware that the
goods.
gauntlet is looking for them. So right now, Oliver is the only thing. I doubt they.
That is a point.
Unless they think
That's a
they can rely on our goodwill. Kind of killed me.
hmm. I suppose they are just as trapped thinking about it. Hmm. Let's see. Let's have a look at the people, shall we? Let's see what we got here. We've got Davil Star Song. No. Emo. No. Let's stay away from them. They're under the thing called Doom Raiders, which is spooky.
What are you talking about?
No. Nihilar. Oh my god, I forgot about that stupid mind flare. Vajra, no. Volo, no. Yagra, no. It's not Dust Sword. Look at that fucking man. Hmm. The only thing I can think of is maybe asking Rainier. I know he's been sending some work our way, but maybe he might have a job that requires people more specialized like them. I mean, they at least appear to be skillful, that much is true, disguising those creatures as books, and are quite strong.
Perhaps.
Maybe, yes. Well, can't hurt to maybe have a word with him while we're walking the streets. Who knows, maybe a better idea might occur to me on the way. Shall we go then?
What about the people that asked to do this job?
The order? Well, we went to speak with them the other day, didn't we? They don't really want to hear of us until we actually solve the case. And although we know who's doing it and where they are, we don't have any evidence, and we haven't taken care of them, so I don't think they'd be partial to hearing us again.
I don't really know. I mean, what can we do? We need to find them some work somehow.
Like I say, all I can think of at the moment is Rainier.
Yep, I agree.
Sheldrake sort of says, I will reach out to my associates to see if they have anything available for people of their particular disposition.
Very well. So, Reginald, I guess you can do the same, provided you're able to get to the point.
He gives a thumbs up from his like head in a bucket.
All right. Well, let's go speak to Rainier for now, anyway.
Sure.
I'll leave like a brief for Reginald to see if it helps his him a little bit. A home recipe, a family recipe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna BRB quickly get a drink.
Sure. So sounds to me like your plan is to go visit Rainier then. Very well. Took over the day. Yep. It's all of our. That thing's dead. Don't need that. Don't need that. Alrighty then. Okay, so while he's away, we'll just go ahead and say you guys are walking along the street to the Sea Ward, where Rainier's Manor is somewhere. I don't think it's marked on here anywhere. Nope. So I get to decide that it is over here.
But I don't want it to be there.
But it's there because that's where I decided that it is.
Yeah.
Got him.
Well, when we get there, I kind of knock on the door.
Yeah.
If
So
we're there yet.
yeah. So when you arrive, basically, you can see like this is the first time you've actually been here. You can see that it is a rather sizable place, basically, like a 4-story residence in the Sea Ward, like gated in with like a garden and stuff. Although it doesn't look like the garden's really been tended to very much. It's kind of like overgrown. I'm kind of like getting overtaken a little bit, like vines growing on the fence and whatnot. And the gate is closed, but doesn't appear to be like locked or anything like that. So you can easily make your way like up to the front door.
I've returned.
Hello, yes, we have made our way to Rainier's sort of residence in the Sea Ward. I was describing it basically. It's sort of like this. It's like a 4-story, stately kind of manor house in the Sea Ward with like a fenced-in yard, like a nice looking garden, albeit like overgrown, as it does not seem to have been like taken care of properly for some time. So the bushes are kind of like going wild and whatnot. The grass is quite long, and the front gate basically like isn't locked or anything at all. So yeah, you guys are make your way up to the sort of like large double doors that enter into the place and kind of knock loudly, and like a moment passes by before the door opens, and you see a you see a woman like opens the door. She looks to be like middle aged, maybe about like Rainier's age, dressed in rather like homely looking like maid attire basically. And she like yawns loudly as she opens the door. It's like early in the morning, but like late enough that you would expect most people would be awake by now. And she sort of says, yes, is there something I could help you with?
Good morning. My name is Valerie Cadencia von Bourbon. We're hoping to have a word with Rainier.
And she sort of like looks at you, and she sort of says, you must be friends of his then. Well, he is currently sleeping off a rather raucous night in the taverns. I can see if I can rouse him. In the meantime, feel free to make yourselves at home in the lounge.
Thank you. Sort of like make her way in, like before she heads off, and says like, when does he usually tend to rise after a night like this?
And she sort of chuckles and says, oh, usually not till at least midday, but that is unless I kick him out of bed.
Fair enough then.
And she sort of says, his dearly departed mother would frown upon me if I allowed him to wallow away his whole life in self-pity.
Self-pity? He seems quite joyous.
Yes, I suppose he does on the surface.
I see. Well, I shan't pry.
And yeah, so she sort of like goes upstairs basically to see if she can rouse him while you make yourselves comfortable in the lounge. You can see like, I mean, the house looks as if like one point in time it was quite something to look at. There's a little bit of kind of like negligence almost going on. You could tell, like being a noble, like of noble birth, you could tell that this place does not have anywhere near like the staffing like required to upkeep such a large house. You see no signs
Do I
of
see
like
any?
other servants or anything like that.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. As we're waiting, like I suppose like Valerie would turn to Ari, and it's like, it just occurred to me. I never did ask. How is it you know Rainier?
He's a friend of my mother's.
What was that? Sorry, your friend of your brother's?
Mother's.
Oh, mother's, right. Ah,
Or at
the
least acquaintance. I don't know about friend.
fair enough then. Your mother, the fortune teller, you said, yes?
Yeah. That's right.
Ah. Nod and say, fair enough.
Yeah. So as you make your way into the lounge, you can see it's sort of like a stately lounge. There's like a nice sort of like lounge couch, basically, a few chairs, like a bookshelf with a number of like books on, the very typical like noble books, right? That like they're just on very impressive sounding topics, though not necessarily useful in any sort of regard. You
Hmm.
can see that above the mantelpiece there is a portrait basically, where you see there's a woman in a rather nice looking like wedding dress or something, like holding a bouquet of flowers on one half of the portrait, and the other half of the portrait there's a rip and it's been like torn down from the frame and is missing.
Okay, Ben does not. Oh yeah, his father. He has that whole thing with his father. Are we? Is this the Never Ember estate, or is this just Rainier's personal residence?
So at one point in time, it was Lord Neverember's estate. But he basically like when he was kicked out of the city, basically he was forced to like abdicate his estate to his like next of kin, which is Rainier. So he now like owns it.
Right, fair enough. Guess I'll have a little like look around the lounge as well while I'm waiting.
Yeah, I mean it's nothing like terribly impressive, and there's like layers of dust kind of like everywhere, like thin layers of dust, right? Uh, yeah, and
I'll look.
eventually. Hmm?
I'll look around as well, and if I stumble upon the kitchen, I'll start making breakfast for him.
Sure.
Because you know.
Yeah, I think you stumble upon the kitchen, and you see it's pretty well maintained compared to like what you've seen so far in the rest of the house. There's some like cooking supplies basically there, and the larder is like relatively well stocked for things.
I'll
Not
just start cooking.
Yeah, it's you could tell just like looking at it being like a chef. You can see like there's really like only supplies and ingredients in here to like feed like a couple of people, right? It's not like a whole household would normally have like a much more filled pantry. But you can like make something, like you can scratch up something with relatively few ingredients to make. And I think eventually, like you in the lounge, you see Rimier, sort of somewhat disheveled, yawning as he sort of like enters. But then he quickly sort of like cracks a smile, and he says, my friends, what do I owe this pleasant visit? Oh, can somebody
Ah,
please close the curtains? And the maid sort of like walks over and like closes the curtains.
good to see you, Rainier. Your maid was saying that you were out in the taverns last night with Volo, maybe?
Yes, the old badger. Him and Floon both. They are. Oh man, they certainly know how to party. That's for sure. Ugh, I'm starting to wonder if
Hmm.
I really should be trying to keep up with them in my old age.
Well, I think you've got quite a few years left of being able to do that at least. Especially since you were able to actually get out of bed.
Yes, well, I have my servants' gentle provocations to thank for that. As he sort of like rubs his like back.
Love it. Uh, well, I suppose what I would say it's like, well, I was hoping to maybe ask you of a favor. And I'll say, yeah, and she'll say it's like, you've sent some work our way, and I have very much appreciated it. Don't worry about that. And she'll say, however, on one of our recent jobs working for the Watchful Order, there's been a slight complication. And I'll sort of like I'll just sort of like exposition him about like the case that we've had so far and about how like you know our good friend Oliver of a whole like few days has been captured already. And I'll sort of say it's like so we're in a little bit of a predicament at the moment, and she'd say I was wondering if maybe you knew anyone who'd have a paying job for them that maybe requires something of their caliber. And it says they seem quite capable, good at forgery, and competent with man. And says, and with the fact that they're able to disguise those creatures, they must have some sort of magical or spiritual connection. Does anything come to mind?
Yeah, he's kind of like rubbing his like the bridge of his nose like between his eyes, and he's just like, Oh, Olivar's parents will never allow me to live it down if he came to harm. Uh, I. The best I can do is perhaps ask around these, jackal wares, as you describe them, are interesting folks with some handy abilities, for sure, but I can't say for certain if any of my associates would be willing to work with such people.
Hmm.
I'll be coming out from the kitchen with food for him and the maid.
Sure. As you place it down, like she's like, "Oh, that was entirely unnecessary, but I thank you nonetheless."
I hate sitting around. It's fine.
She hates that you've just done her job for her. I suppose Vi will continue. It's like, well, to the uninitiated, they do just appear to be normal humans. But, and she'll say it's like, if they were doing something more directly malicious, then I wouldn't have any hesitation alerting the Gauntlet to their presence. But the fact that they have our friend, and apparently what was happening was entirely unintentional, I'm a bit of an immoral conundrum. And she says, if you're able to ask around and find anything, then that would be superb.
um, he nods and says, "The least I can do is try, I suppose." You said they were operating some sort of stall in the markets. Perhaps I can see if any of my more mercantile friends could employ them as salespeople or something of the likes.
Hmm. I nod, and I say, well, I thank you for that. And she'll sort of like look at Basic's food, and it's like, I guess reach forward and have some, and it's like, well, I suppose there's no harm in having some.
Made you breakfast before we left home.
Yeah.
The second breakfast.
Second breakfast.
Listen, we can't just
And
come here and ask him for something and then leave. That's rude, okay? At least we can do
I
is have a
guess
snack.
Rainier, as he's like sitting there, like picking away at the food that's been prepared, kind of like nodding. He sort of says, "Of course, you've an establishment of your own that you're opening. Surely you'll need employees yourself when the time comes." He says, "No, there's a little bit of bad blood between you, but well, if you spin it the right way, perhaps it could come off as an amicable agreement, if nothing else."
I did say the same, but right now we don't really need to hire anyone right now. But said so myself. Moment we can open,
Hmm. I
it's
suppose
something.
I would. Yeah, I suppose I would think for a minute, and she'd be like, "Well, if you're only able to find them something for a certain period of time, and they're able to release Olivar and stop selling the books, of course, then when the place is fully running, I don't see why we couldn't propose the idea to them. If you're able just to find something to hold them over until then, I suppose that could work if they're amicable."
And I look at Valerie, and I go like, if I'm not wrong, your father has connection with people who can do the resurrections, at least some, and that might give them some goodwill as well.
I don't think that he
Uh,
would do anything for me at the moment.
no, not at the moment. But he said once you have, gotten yourself up and running, and this is when the establishment is up and running as well.
I suppose, no doubt he'll make me work it off or pay for it in some capacity, but I suppose it's better than nothing.
Oh, but they are gonna pay for those like whole resurrection themselves for the money they earn from us. So
Well, maybe
we
father could help with that, then that is true.
exactly. Well, maybe we should go to the jackals again after this, and But first, we need to find something temporary.
Yes. Well, I suppose after we're done making pleasantries and having
Sure.
a bite, then we'll get ready to head off.
So,
Certainly.
I look at Valerie and go like, so let me get this straight. What we have working at our tavern is weird, jackal wares and children.
And a ghost.
True. I mean, jeez. And a cat man running the kitchen. Straight out of the book, isn't it? Oh god.
I sort of turn to Rainier and I say, it's like, you're quite versed in the taverns of this city. Would you say that a setup like that would be enticing?
Well, I mean, it would certainly be more unique than most of the places around here. This is whether or not that's a good thing remains to be seen, I suppose.
I guess it's all in the marketing. Well, yeah. Like I say, after we finish up with the pleasantries, I suppose we'll get ready to shoot off.
Yeah, he sort of says, "Oh, give me some time to work this off, and I'll make the rounds, see if I can find anything for them. In the meantime, best of luck to you."
Thank you very much, Rainier. And I'll sort of turn to his maid, and it's like, and I bid you good day. I'm sorry, I never caught your name.
She says, "I'm Hyatha." She sort of nods.
Hiya, folks. Let's see. How you spell that?
Hayatha.
What? Okay. Hyafa
Mhm.
is Rainier's maid slash caretaker. All right.
Yeah, so
Well, yes.
she sees you out as like Rainier is kind of like collapsed on a chair inside, and yeah, you begin to make your way. I guess I will say one other thing. There is always that guardsman who basically was like, we have openings for guard shifts basically. It's always that too. It's a temporary thing.
Right.
Just as another thing to consider.
A thing we didn't want because we didn't get paid enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it pays like a minuscule amount. They need like resurrection money is
I
the
mean, it
problem.
pays like an honest wage.
Yeah,
It does
it's
pay an honest. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I suppose it's worth a shot. We don't have anything else going for us, do we? So,
let's go talk
so
with
yeah.
these werewolf or
Wait.
jackals.
I guess. Yeah. Well, I guess like we can talk to the guard quickly though, can't we?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll go talk to the guard quickly then. And see whether we can see if they have any like higher paid positions that they might be willing to give to more capable people.
Probably not. It's guards.
Yeah, so you go. I assume you basically go to where you found him the last time. This yawning portal. Yawning
Oh
portal.
God, it was the captain, wasn't it? Yalister.
Yeah. Alistair Silvermane. Yeah, so you head over there. I think you find him basically like kind of occupying a similar like spot as he was last time. Sort of some empty
It's
drinks
his
on
usual
the
spot.
table. His usual spot, sunken eye, like bags under the eyes. 5 o'clock shadow. Unkempt hair.
Mr.
Bottle
Silvermane?
of whiskey. He sort of like looks up and says, "Yes, what can I? It's you. It's been a while." He sort of smiles.
It has. And it says, sorry we never came back, but the job, some other things came up.
And he sort of like sighs and says, "Ah, it's fine. I don't begrudge you. It wasn't exactly glamorous work. I've had to, there was some unfortunate occurrences, but, well, nothing the city isn't too used to, I suppose."
And I'll say, well, at least you had a bit of a brief reprieve. The, oh shit, what was it called? The Sword Festival? Or
It's called
something?
Bright Swords.
Yeah. And he says, at least you had a brief reprieve. Bright Swords was quite peaceful from what I've heard.
And he sort of like nods and says, "Aye, but it'll take more than a day to, you know, make up for this hell that we've been living in.
Yes. Well, I come to you today. I remember how you offered us that job previously. Do you have any other work that might be available? Not for us, but for some other people that we know.
And he sort of like leans back, says, I mean, it depends. What sort of people are they? What sort of work did you have in mind?
And I'll say, well, they're capable in a fight, that much we can tell you. And they, hmm, I suppose you could say they're quite good at blending in as well. And I was like, okay, yeah, like being werefolk is fine. It's just like a personal thing, right? And order, of course, the order doesn't like them.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
depends on the
it depends on the
person.
person, right? Like you don't know their
Yeah,
individual like opinions and
yeah.
prejudices and
But
whatnot.
yeah, and I'll say it's like they are quite good at blending in. They seem to be at least capable in, I suppose, magic or conversing with some sort conversing with some sort of strange creatures. And I'll sort of lean forward a bit and say it's like they are lycanthropes, and I'll sort of like whisper to him so like no one else hears on nearby tables or whatever.
Um, and he sort of like kind of like scratches his forehead, and he says, those are some interesting associates. I'm well. I mean, we're always looking for more
And
people for the guard, but uh, I don't know.
they're not the
Well,
kind that actually like are bad, to say it like that.
and he says, and I'll say it's like yes, they are. They're just looking to try and raise some funds for themselves. If you have, and I'll say it's like whatever you have needs doing, provided you're able to pay them. And it says they're looking for they're looking for something consistent. And she says, and and it says provided you live up to your end of the bargain, then they should do the same.
And he sort of says, well, like I said, it's not glamorous work, but it gives an honest day's wage, and provided they can pass the examinations and basic training, um, we're always looking for new members of the guard of the city. But I mean, if they don't have the city's best interests at heart, I'm not quite sure they'd be the best fit for the job. We need people who will, look after the city first and themselves second.
I see. Well, that could be. And it says, well, I can float the idea to them and say, do you not have any contracting work or anything of the like either?
Oh, not at the moment. People have been a little bit reluctant to work with us after what happened to the dung sweepers.
Dung sweepers. Have I heard about that?
Yeah, that was a job he asked you to do like before.
Oh, right, that one. Yeah. And I'll say, oh, I see. Well, hmm. Okay, is there a way for him to like give me the details of what it takes to be a guard? Does he have like a flyer? It's like, are you interested in joining the guard? Here's what you need to know.
I mean, not really, but there's, like a, tough physical regimen, right? You got to be in shape, and you have to have knowledge of the city laws and like the layout of the city, and
Hmm.
like
And how much does
it's
it pay?
uh I mean, it pays like it probably pays like above average, but it's still probably, like you make like a comfortable lifestyle. Like it's nothing glamorous.
Like 6 gold a day or something like
I mean,
that.
you get like more, right? If you like work your way up the ranks or whatever, you get more, but a basic like entry level guard position,
Hmm.
you get paid in exposure. No.
Get paid exposure, fucking hell. And I'll sort of like nod. And I'll say, hmm. Well, like I say, I can propose the idea to them, I guess. And I'll sort of What was I gonna say? Yeah, and I sort of say it's like, well, yeah, I'll propose the idea to them. If um, if the situation gets too desperate, though, he says, I think you should, I think you'd it maybe be a good idea to maybe seek us out if you need additional help. And she says, I live in this city and I do love this place, and I definitely would look to protect it if it's in danger. He says, just that being a guard on day to day isn't for me, you know.
Well, it's easy enough to step up and take a swing for your city, a day or two, but it takes real dedication to devote your life to such a thing.
True. Well, I suppose like how much does it cost for a drink?
Yeah, like, a couple coppers.
Yeah, I'll give him like 2 coppers and I'll say, here, next one's on me. Thanks for your time.
Sort of nods. Says, well, uh, come again some other time, maybe. Just, like I said, we're always looking for, noble souls to, take up the post. But I understand it's not exactly, the type of thing that, you sort of folk are looking for.
Well, bid you good day. I suppose we'll head off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So thinking it's okay. I don't think Sheldrake and the rest would have had enough time to come back with anything, right, guys? That's why I don't think so. Like,
I
it's
mean,
only been a few
it's
hours.
been a few hours. Maybe, maybe not.
Mm,
Reginald, like, definitely not, because he uses, like, dead drops and stuff. Like, it takes a long time to get a reply.
yeah. The thing is, I only want to go back and see the Jackal people once we have like something with substance. Otherwise, they might just get impatient with us.
Or they might prefer it that we keep them updated of what's going on. That's.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing as well. I'm trying to think. Hmm. Let's head back to the Troll Skull Alley for now. Maybe Sheldrake has something. If not, then we can just go. Yeah, and then we can go to see the Jackal people, I suppose.
Fair enough.
Actually, on the way, the market's on the way, I suppose. Like, let's go see if the stall is there.
Yeah, I mean, you can stop by the markets on your way back to
Yeah.
the manor.
Wouldn't approach the stall though. Just like do a little flyby, just be like, okay, it's there or it's not there,
Sure.
and then keep walking.
Yeah, as you make your way, I mean, like, the tent and, like, the stall itself is sort of like a semi-permanent structure. So as you, like, make your way past there, you can see it's, like, it's still there, but, like, it's all, like, tarped up and closed, right? There's no, like, sign of activity, seeing as
Yeah.
5 of their 7 workers are dead.
As you know, I just remembered something. Wasn't it the person who gave me the tip off to the stall, like a cloaked, shady ass figure?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Did we ever see? Did we see his face?
No.
No. Was he a jackal man or not? Are there any? Nah, I'm not gonna. I don't want to skulk around for weird cultists in the marketplace. Maybe not. Let's just go back to that Troll Skull Alley.
Why not? It's fun. Oh. All right, yeah. So as you return to the Troll Skull Alley in the middle of the day or so, to sort of like convene once more and kind of share what you've learned, consider options going forward to rescue your companion. I think that we shall end things off there for today, and next time we will hopefully pick up from there and see where things go.
Right.
Hopefully Zach can make it. If not, we'll just have to skip out next week and come back the next week. We'll see.
Okay.
Matt, can I get inspiration since I did the recap, but used it?
I mean, you can get inspiration for doing the recap next week.
Oh my god. Alright, fine, I'll do it again.
Brutal.
Yeah, well,
Brutal.
I'm not here, so
Yeah,
you
Morden's
know,
not
good luck.
here. Elise refuses to
Alright,
do it out
fine.
of principle.
Yep.
I'll do it.
Because I've already forgotten what happened.
Forgotten when. Well, I'll
Alrighty.
see you guys later.
Alright, bye, Morton.
Okay.
All right.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Thank you for joining me today. And we will see you next week, if not the week after that. And until then,
Yep.
goodbye.